In the thick silence of the night, the secret whispers of forbidden love and the unspoken temptations that existed between me and my brother-in-law Michael, I never thought that my life would turn so quickly into madness. Michael's every glance, his every secret touch, was like a spark that started a fire in the dry forest of my life. William, my husband, like a distant and indifferent shadow, never knew how his brother filled his void in his absence. But as time passed, everything became more complicated, and the secrets hidden in the shadows of empty bedrooms began a dangerous dance with an unknown ending. Michael showed gestures that I knew he was in love with me, and even after some time we had a relationship. But suddenly the work went to narrow places. William's absence due to busy work made his brother gradually take his place and play the role of husband for his wife. Raised in a middle-class family and after getting a diploma because of not passing the university exam, finally, with William, who, like me, was from a not very prosperous society, against my inner desire, due to my parents' frequent insistence, I got married and entered an unwanted world that I did not want to enter. There was no other choice, so after this unwanted marriage, I continuously tried in different ways, such as saying that I have a good wife, and to some extent, earn with this and don't take her building construction or, as she says, build and sell. That his hand reaches his mouth. I encouraged myself and tried to move forward the course of my life based on hope for the future. But no matter how many doors I knocked on, I didn't get anywhere, and every step I took to warm up the foggy atmosphere of my life was always useless. William was constantly traveling from one city to another, buying land wherever he could and starting to build it with his colleagues. Although I had to be away from him sometimes for a long time due to his job position, his distance did not bother me because we were only physically connected to each other, and from the beginning, the soul was hidden from the body of our life and was like a building, which my wife built was made of stone and cement. A few years passed until God blessed us with my daughter Ima, and I fell asleep again for a little while and was busy with my child's upbringing and his various needs, so that maybe the lost spirit could take over his life. I will understand and be encouraged in the warm bed of his kind affections. The days continued to pass and I was still drifting away from my wife and the current course of my life day by day, and William, who may have realized that I am not very interested in him, did not pay much attention to me and instead of loving life was just busy building its endless skyscrapers. In the absence of my wife, her brother played the role of my husband every night and we had sex until the morning. Most of the time it was Michael who, despite his young age, was both a student and single. Sometimes he would visit me and his nephew, and in some cases, when he was impatient, he would take us to the cinema and other entertainment centers. He could not avoid doing his homework for his family and find himself in the alleys of not seeing and not understanding. The days were quickly passing by in my unhappy life, when I found out in disbelief from Michael's looks and behavior that he was interested in me and that he was not so reluctant to fill his empty place for me in the absence of his brother and play the role of a wife. He has not played for me. He tried several times in person to make me understand that I should have a relationship with him, and I, who had been doubting a secret relationship with him for some time, finally fell in love with another mirage and had a secret and destructive relationship with him. I started myself. Little by little, I felt as if this time another feeling came to me and echoed in my heart the love and affection for Michael. My relationship with Michael had become very close and warm to the point that we tried to make the most of every opportunity in William's absence and spent the days together, and I thought that because most of the relatives also think like others that the reason for his brother's absence is related to us and he is trying to fill William's void for us in his absence, no one will ever find out about Michael and I's secret relationship, and I can handle everything in life's path. I had lost my wife in the days I was with her. I found it again and on the other side of the sky happiness with my beautiful dreams and wishes. As time passed, there was not much delay, and I indulged myself in Michael's love, and my wife, who was perhaps tired of the foggy atmosphere of her life, indulged in addiction and gradually found herself immersed in the vortex of giant drug use. It's a shame and 1,000 regrets that it was unbelievable that drug use is the scourge of women, but William is so caught up in the mirage of drug use that his work has changed from construction to hauling passengers with a car with more documents than his own. And he put the auction stick on all his life possessions. I may have been in a bit of financial trouble due to the hardships of my life, but I was not too upset about my wife's addiction because I knew that as much as she fell into the opium of drug use, I would be able to love her more easily and with more freedom. I will share mine with Michael. It was as if the passage of time had made the presence of William, who now had several prison records and wrongdoings in his disgraceful bag, unbearable for me to the point where I tried to make Michael his prey by any trick and to destroy him. Taking William and getting rid of him and reaching Michael, I will make a plan that I never thought about in a bed of lustful thoughts, what outcome it will bring for me and Emma. If you have liked the video so far, you will definitely be surprised when you hear the end of the story, so stay with us until the end. Yes, I suggested to Michael that if he is interested in being freed from these puppet plans and living together under the same roof forever, it is better to erase his brother's existence from the history page. At the beginning, Michael was unable to digest my offer and he was not willing to kill his brother, but he was saved from Amari's breath, which brought him to his knees, until I was able to finally, with various tricks, make him kill his brother to satisfy me. One night, I picked up my daughter Ima and went to my father's house and arranged with Michael in advance to make the most of the opportunity in my absence and finish the job. Poor Michael, who had been against my lustful love for a long time. He had gotten down on his knees, pumped air into his brother's veins away from his senses, and then buried him in a garden around the outskirts of the city. It wasn't long before the news of William's disappearance spread through the streets of the city and everyone became aware of his disappearance. The police were able to arrest both of us with the clues they got from Michael's and mine's relationship, and the lusty drum of our scandal spread all over the world. The resounding curse of friends and strangers came towards us. Now is the time when both of us have spent our bitter and sinful days behind the bars of the prison, and in endless regrets, we only look at our vague future, and 1,000 times a day, we are judged by our evil thoughts and the unconsciousness of our conscience. Let's think why, in endless lusts, we destroyed all future bridges and forced others to play with this unforgivable sin. At the end of this turbulent story, the fate of Emma, a girl who grew up in the midst of this chaos, remains untold. What do you think the future holds for him? Will he follow a different path than his parents? Share your thoughts on the future you envision for Emma in the comments. Let's discuss together the various possibilities that may come his way. Like the video and share with your friends to see how many of you imagine the best possible future for Emma. If you enjoyed this story full of excitement and suspense, wait for our next video, where another story, with untold conspiracies and new adventures awaits you.